Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. I was lucky enough to get a couple more of the limited or veteran versions of a few more guildball models. As you know, I really enjoyed them. Unfortunately, the game is no longer being produced, and now tracking down these figures is becoming something of a quest of mine, especially the more interesting veteran or variant limited stuff. So today we've got a veteran calculus and a veteran cinder. And the nice thing about both of these is they're done up in the later, nicer resin that Steamforge was using. And I gotta say, I have really enjoyed building and painting all of the models from the line so far. At least the resin stuff. The metals weren't bad, but I'm just more of a fan of the resins. And I know they've been doing the plastics for their board games and stuff like God Tier. One of these days I'm going to get around to God Tier as I throw models across the table. But their resin was just really nice. Really, really nice. And you can see the detail quite clearly there. And unfortunately, it looks like that was supposed to stay attached, and it isn't. Hopefully I can fix it. We'll see. Let's take a look at calculus. Now, admittedly, cinder's not the most exciting in terms of resin colors, but that's what our friend calculus is supposed to look like. You can see part of the backpack there. Hair needs a little bit of cleanup. Very nicely detailed, despite being bright green. We have, what is this? I'm sure that was supposed to be right there. Some little doodad. Oh, it's his hand, it looks like. His or her, I'm not sure. Maybe her. I don't think it matters. And then the base. I always like how they have the spots designated for the feet to sit in the base. Even though they don't really always line up 100%, it is nice to have everything kind of ironed out and pointed out to you in that regard. So I gotta say, even if you don't play Guild Ball, if you do manage to track down these models, they're just a lot of fun and interesting looking characters just for the heck of painting, or I mean, they're perfectly usable in just about any kind of, Pathfinder, D&D, tabletop RPG, especially if you're going to use minis. So, something to keep in mind. All right, give me a moment, and I will put our two figures together. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just prime them up while I'm at it, so that way we can see how they look, and we'll grab a couple other models to see how they turn out. So, sit tight. Okay, we got calculus and cinder all cleaned up and put together here, so we can let you guys take a look at them. Here is cinder. Nope, calculus. I should know better. Based on the color and all of the fancy contraptions. Still a little bit of cleanup there that I need to do, but overall, very simple, very nice. And much like everybody else in the Guild Ball line, you could totally find a use for these in just about any other type of game. I think she'd make a great artificer, engineer, steampunk type mage, alchemist, or what have you. I mean, there's plenty of options there. And then grabbing cinder. Again, relatively simple build, easy to clean up, not so easy to get her face on camera that well. But the model works, especially if you want an interesting look to your typical fighter type. Now, I do have a plastic member of the Blacksmith's Guild. He's a little bit big, though. There's no denying that. I'm using one of our Engineer Guild guys, whose name I can't remember, because I've totally abandoned that project for some time and need to get back to it. You can see, I mean, they look like they're going to fit in fairly decently with the human-sized models in the game. And if you guys are keeping your eyes peeled, I know Guild Ball stuff tends to come and go in spurts online. Seems that some of the major shops will have a bit of stock in for a while, and then they'll try to clear it out, and then, another batch shows up, it seems. So if you're in the mood and you're interested, do keep your eyes peeled, because some people want to charge you exorbitant amounts of money, and then some will give you quite the deal. If you're looking to use them in other places, you see they scale really well with both the WizKids stuff and Reaper's models in terms of at least regular humans. That's always nice to see. If you wanted to go the North Star route, stuff like Frostgrave and Ghost Archipelago, even Stargrave, I guess, still looks like they'd fit in fairly well, I think. It's when you start getting into other lines of figures and games that things can be a little bit more problematic. And I'm not even going to worry about 3D printed stuff, because obviously if you're 3D printing, you can tweak and tailor it to whatever your preference may be. So you can see, at least with the Marine, a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier for sure. If you wanted to use like Calculus as some kind of an inquisitorial type person. Right scale with the Primaris there. So like I was saying, when you get into other lines, it's going to be a little bit more noticeable when things are off. So like our Privateer, Bloody Bradigan here, a little bit bigger. Grabbing our Conquest guys, significantly bigger. And then again, you know what, just even grabbing other models from Guildball itself, you can see there's some big differences in size there. Corker from the Brewers Guild, and I want to say Boar. I don't know, it's either Tusk or Boar, I can't remember. I love this model too. This guy has made his way onto the table way more times than he really has any right to. And again, he's one of those veteran models, much like the other two here, Cinder and Calculus. Actually, it was Corker as well. I don't remember now. If you wanted to be really interesting and crazy with these figures, you wanted to use them for Blood Bowl replacements or something, or in your own fantasy football games, I mean, honestly, the size works really well. Something to keep in mind. Definitely a possibility. And it's just a shame that it seems Steamforged just kind of dropped the ball, pun intended, so to speak, so quickly. And I know there's been a lot of fan movement in terms of trying to keep the game going. I never had a chance to play it. It kind of sprang up really quickly, and by the time I got around to getting interested in it, it had already disappeared. So, you know, too little too late for me, unfortunately. But I gotta give Steamforged credit, especially the resins. I've had a lot of fun so far building them, and just the level of detail, level of quality, it's definitely there. And especially if you're finding them at fire sale prices, well, hey, you know, who's to complain there? I'm certainly not. So, good luck in your searches. If you're interested, there are a lot of fun models out there. Definitely take a look at some of the bigger online retailers, because I know they're clearing this stuff out pretty regularly, and there's always interesting deals to be had at places like eBay as well. Hopefully we'll get around to painting them. Oh, and you know why it took me so long? I started this video ages ago. I was looking. Calculus totally reminded me of this model, the alternate version of Rafkin for Malifaux. Now, obviously, they're not even closely the same, other than they've both got bandoliers of goodies on them. But, yeah, that's about the only difference. I like my Rafkin model. She's a cool one. So it'll be nice to have somebody keep her company as they bomb and poison the table. Anyways, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.